What do you think the story of Sodom and Gomorrah is about? Because I was just reading that last night.
Cleanliness.
Cleanliness? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what took them out? That, like, plague?
Okay.
Because
This is
the thing
69 times I've gotten canceled in this one conversation.
The stories of Sodom and Gomorrah, there's two speculations.
Right.
One of them was that God decided that they weren't hospitable enough. And the other one was God had decided that there was too much sin.
Wait a minute, that's not speculation. That's in the book.
Right.
That first one.
Right, but the respectability part, that they were not hospitable enough.
Yeah, that was a part of it.
That's part of it too. So God had just decided this. I'm gonna fuck up this whole city.
No.
Right. What's the real story though?
Okay, so
Turned it into pillars of salt. 2 cities, right? And he said, "Find me 50 good men, and I won't do this." And then I think he said, "Find me 10 good men."
Okay, so this story is generally used to say that God doesn't like homosexuals. This is the story that highlights that.
Okay, so it's not just sin. It's not just because sodomy is even technically like oral sex.
The meaning of that word comes from
Sodom and Gomorrah. Right.
Right.
So that's why I said it includes a lot of things people think is deviant sex. Yo, I gotta piss so bad. Can we come back to this? Sodom and Gomorrah. Come back to this.
I would love that.
Okay, let's take a leak. Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yeah. So it tells several stories, but there had to be an explanation for what the story said happened to 2 cities of people, right?
Right. There had to be a reason to tell that story. Most likely.
To tell this story, it requires all of those people to really have been killed in those circumstances. And historical evidence shows us that something like that happened. Like, those 2 cities really did exist.
Do we know where Sodom and Gomorrah was?
Are you kidding? I know a guy who will pull that information up so fast and put it on a screen.
Young Jamie? Like, is there speculation as to what part?
His sidekick is awake now. You're going to see the best part of him when Carl wakes up.
Carl's awake now. He's a 3:30 waker.
Right. As we all would be if we were in charge of our schedules.
Yeah, probably. What do they think that it... Like, is there real speculation as to where it was?
Mm-hmm.
Where do they think it was?
It's not speculation. A lot of these places just changed names. Like, they used to be called this, and then they later were called something else. But
like Iraq used to be Sumer.
Right. Yeah. Like, these are literal places that you can find on the real map. That was a part of that biblical rabbit hole I was telling you about. It's just seeing my only concern is, how do these ancient Islamic, Judea, how do you say that, those 3 that exist? That all religion is built on: Judeo-Christian, Islamic. Mm-hmm. That whole belief system of how that operates, right? So you see they have question marks here, right? Only because they know that there were cities there.
Oh, so they have wreckage there?
Like, for example, if everybody in Gaza talks about going there, it exists. If everybody in Hebron has family members that live there, it exists. If everybody, we know that.
So they think that was right near the Dead Sea. Wow.
Well, they didn't think it any differently than they thought Tal al Hammam, if I'm pronouncing that correct. Like, these were places, like,
Yeah.
people throughout history, if you show any body of water, those are always hot spots. Water is its own commodity and currency at all points, and that was the Dead Sea. But that's everywhere.
Was the Dead Sea always the Dead Sea?
I think so.
Because, goddamn, there's so much interesting stuff that came from that part of the world. That's where they found the Dead Sea
But a lot
Scrolls.
of the stuff that was supposed to be unbelievable was all based on something real. Like, right, how long was it the Dead Sea? Long before they knew what high salt content was.
Right.
Or they might have called it salt content sea. But what they were trying to say is
Lowest point on the planet.
stuff's not growing here. Okay? Don't come here as a fishing spot. Right?
But it's a good spot to gather salt, which at that point in time was as valuable as anything on Earth.